Hi, it's Ren from Spirits of Fashion. Welcome back to my channel. I have started a part series, 3 parts, 4 parts, but I did part 1 last week, still recovering my voice, so I'm keeping them short, but they are very fun because I have started to unbag some wonderful clothing, some vintage clothing from my brother-in-law's mother-in-law's clothing stash that they had offered to give to me. And I've seen them on virtual Zoom talk that we had, but it's months ago, so I don't remember. So what I've been doing is surprising both you and myself with what's coming out of this bag, and we've had a lot of fun with it. So welcome back. If you saw part 1, please enjoy part 2. If not, go back and see part 1 whenever you want to. And let's get started. Okay, the first piece I just pulled out of the bag, is this gray and white dress, shirtwaist dress. So it has this elasticized piece at the waist, probably would have been worn with a belt. It does have belt loops. So I don't know if it came with a belt or if you would have to use your own belt. I suspect it came with one at one point. But it's just a simple, smaller pads, shoulder pads. So it could have been early 90s or early to mid 90s as well. And the tag says Jenny Petites, made in USA. So there's the tag. And it's just simple dress, very lightweight. So it could be worn in the warmer months for sure. And it is looks like a mid-calf length as well. So 80s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, but it's a nice little piece, very classic. There's nothing really trendy because the shoulder pads aren't very big. There's just a little puff at the sleeve and a very small pad inside. So it could be worn pretty much as a nice dress for an event, or it could be worn casually as well. Even to work, if you work at an office, some of us don't anymore, of course, many people now work from home, but you could put a blazer over it and it would be much more modern looking for today's working woman. And it's always a good way to style some of these older dresses and bring it more into the present time. If you're like me, you like to sometimes just go full out in a particular decade or even mixed decades just for the fun of it. So whatever floats your boat. But that's the first piece. Going in again. Oh my. Okay, well, this dress is that nice dusty pink that I showed you something similar in color last time. Zips up the back, has no label. I don't know if someone made this, if she made this herself. I don't know if she sewed. I never met her, but again, it's my brother-in-law's wife's mom, and it was her clothing. So this is a full-length dress, very simple. It just has this sort of almost empire waist to it, and it's like a material. It's not chiffon. It's going to stretch. It's almost like what we used to call Kiana in the 70s. So it was sort of a stretchy fabric, and it just flowed really nicely with the body. In fact, my sister got married in 1964, and I was in her wedding, and we wore the Kiana dresses in a light peach, and they were full length, and then it came with a hood. So it was really kind of cool. But I remember that name, Kiana. That was the name of the fabric that they used. So just simple sleeveless dress. Could be dressed up or dressed down. What else is in here? We shall see. Same kind of material, it feels like. This is, oh, wow. Look at this one. This is fancy. This is a spaghetti strap dress, sort of almost want to say a cinnamon color. Probably doesn't show up that way on camera, but that's what it looks like to me. And it's got that gathered bust line. It's a very high waisted. The bust line is gathered up, like I said, and it's full length. And it feels like that same Kiana sort of stretchy material. So I suspect this was probably a 70s dress as well. No label, but it does have these, often you'll see in dresses, to put on the hanger to keep the these from sliding off and the dress falling on the floor, which happens to me all the time. But no label on this one, but very fun to wear in the summertime, even for a casual event, because it's really not a fancy dress, but it has that lovely gathering, so very flattering to most body types, and could be a lot of fun for an evening out in the summer. Love the color too. Oh, okay. I pulled two pieces out at once. This is another one of those polyester dresses I showed last time. This is a mint green and with the short sleeves, very common in the late 60s, early 70s. And it does have the garment union tag in it. So it's definitely an older piece. And it's this kind of lime green color. I like the little detail with the button on the tab in front. Other than that, it's pretty simple. There's the back, has that same princess line that goes right over the bust and all the way down the front of the dress, kind of giving it some shape to the body. And it's the polyester back then, it's very kind of rough feeling. It's not like the microfibers they have today, which when they have polyester or nylon, it's much softer. It feels more like silk because they have managed to find a way to make the fibers much, much finer. And so when they're woven or knit, they're very smooth to the touch. It's called hand. When you feel the touch of a fabric, they call that hand. And this, I don't see fabric on here. Oh, big surprise, 100% polyester. So very typical for that late 60s, early 70s period. Love it. And then this is, oh, this looks 80s to me. Or even, yes, this is 80s. It's got some shoulder pads in it. Oh boy, these dresses were very popular back then. This is a button-up dress. I really like this. It's got the pads in it with the little, gathered sleeve at the top. So it's like a little puff sleeve with a collar. And this says Stuart Allen Petites. Okay. And let's see, it is 50% polyester, 50% rayon. So you got some rayon thrown in there. It's a much different feel to the hand than those previous dresses that I showed that were pretty much all polyester. I remember this being a very popular style in the 80s, early 90s with this rollback cuff with a button on it. That's sort of right above the elbow. So let's see, or maybe right below the elbow. Oh, probably, it's hard to tell. Probably right above the elbow. I had a dress like that in the 80s when I was working in one of my nutrition jobs way back when. And I remember it was a similar type sleeve and I loved it. It's really flattering. So anyway, and it does have a self belt. So belt that's the same fabric, has the belt loops still there so that you can wear the matching belt. I always thought it was fun to use a different belt, something that would be a little contrasting to the dress so that it would kind of pop and make it a little more interesting. But back then, everything pretty much came with belts in the same fabric as the dress or whatever you're wearing, the blouse that had belts with it. So gathered waist, again, it's pretty much a shirt waist dress, but a button up. So I love the color. It's this light sage green and white leaf pattern, like a fern. Very fun with the pads intact. Okay, let's go. Oh. Okay. Boy, lots of nice dresses that she must have gone to a lot of nice things, a lot of nice events. This is 60s, I'd say late 60s, mid to late 60s with the Empire waist. And it's definitely that poly, a little stretchy, but that not a nice hand feel. It's like the polyester of the old days. And it doesn't have a tag inside that I can see, but it does have those cute little light purple buttons on the front that are just decorative, and the Empire waist. And then in the back, the waist comes down to the normal So you've got sort of a empire slash natural waistline going on there. And this is a light blue, and zipper, metal zipper goes right up the back there. And that's all I've got on that. Nothing, no tags, but lots of fun. If you like that aesthetic from the 60s, I know a lot of the prom dresses that my sisters would wear in the prom in the 60s, their high school proms would have that higher waistline to it. It was just the style at the time. But it's definitely that polyester feel to it. Oh, another bag. I showed a bag last time. This is a big old bag. Looks like it has some issues. I don't think it's mildew. I think it's just marked up a little bit, but this is heavy. If you're like me and you carry your life with you in your bag, probably don't want to carry something this heavy that doesn't have anything in it. But it's interesting. It looks like it would have been 70s to me. That's what it looks like. It looks like that style. And it does have this attached wallet. I can't figure out how that goes. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is a separate piece. And it does have this little wallet. Oh, yeah, this is old. These are the old ways to carry, before cell phones, ways to carry your photographs would be in here. So people would have like photographs of their children, grandchildren, other family members and friends, and they would go right in here. I had a wallet like that in Massachusetts. So that was a company. And there's two little keys. I don't know what they went to. They must look like they went to a little lock box or something. So that's intriguing. And sometimes you find things in bags you don't expect to find, and that usually happens with vintage bags when I pick them up. But this came to me, and very heavy, but very cool. I mean, I'm sure it could be cleaned up a little bit and definitely be put back into use again, because it's a nice bag. It's just a little heavy for me when I've got to add more stuff to it inside, but really cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh, see, I'm as surprised as you may all be. This looks like it might have been a cape for this other dress that I showed you, this pink. Yes, it's the same fabric. This must have gone over this. So remember I said this was kind of plain, but this was probably the piece that went over it. So as I had mentioned last time, and if there's like a knit or crocheted shawl that like I showed you before, that's a nice way to just warm up if you're in air conditioning in the summer or someplace that's a little on the cool side. And this is a fancy one with pearls. And it just has one hook and eye on the top part of the collar there. And I'm going to show you that. Let's see. It goes with my pink too. By the way, I'm wearing another piece from my friend's mom, and I love it because it's so Poochie inspired. Really, really cute. So I had to wear that for you today. Just this would go like this, and there's your little cape, fancy cape. So it would also be more modest, so you wouldn't be showing so much skin and your arms. I mean, this was a different time period. So I just think, I'm pretty sure that goes with that dress. That is a nice surprise. I didn't expect that. Let me show you the pearls. I love that. Definitely could be worn with jeans and just blow everybody's mind and say, wow, where did you get that? And, where? Well, it's from the 60s or early 70s, and I'm giving it new life. And that's how I look at it. You're giving these pieces new life by wearing them and making them your own. And they're not going to the landfill. They're being preserved. They're being loved again. And I think that's what it's all about, which is one of the main reasons I do this. So, okay, let's go for a couple more, and then we'll stop and do maybe part 3 and 4 in the next couple of videos. All right. Well, definitely a summer dress. Sort of reminds me of the other one with the spaghetti straps, but it's very light, and it's a halter. This is a halt. Oh, you know what? No, it isn't. This, yes, it is. It goes around. Let me try to do this on me. So it goes this way, and then you cross it, and then it has some of these loops over here. So that would actually go into that. But va va voom, wow, it's pretty risque. Wow. Let me see what it says. It says Young Reflections. I wonder if this was one of her daughter's dresses. I don't know that. They might have told me that originally, but I don't know. But it's for a younger person, obviously, and it's that same kind of Kiana fabric. So I suspect 70s for sure. That makes sense to me. Okay. Oh, I've got something fancy and beaded. All right. Oh, Valerie Stevens. Now we know that name. I know that name. This is Valerie Stevens Evening, and it's 100% polyester, 100% silk lining. So let's look at these. Oh boy, this must come with a skirt. I'm suspecting. We'll see. We're going to be both surprised. But this is a typical 80s fancy evening piece. I have a few of these. I have a really cool one of my videos. I think I wore it. If I'm not mistaken, it's a black and silver beaded, but it's 80s with the big pads, but it just happens to fall so well on me that I still wear it. I love it. You can really dress it down too. You don't have to go full out fancy with those kinds of tops. And this is that kind of a situation. This is long sleeve. Mine is short sleeve, but it's all beaded, and most of it is beaded and very heavy. As some of you may know already, you don't want to hang these pieces up. They're too heavy. If you do, the beads weigh down the fabric and it pulls on the fabric and it can cause tearing, especially older pieces like 20s, of course. But I know that hangers do damage. And so something like this with the weight that it has, just fold it and put it on a shelf or in a drawer, because it will ruin over time. Will get ruined over time just from the weight of it and the fabric starting to shred. So there you go, because it does have a silk lining. So you don't want that to start to shatter if you can help it. So that's a very cool piece. Could definitely be worn with something much plainer and more casual, but it could also be worn with, say, a nice long black crepe skirt, and it would look beautiful with that too. Definitely doesn't have to be something from the 80s. Even though the top is, it could be something that you already have in your closet. And that's always fun. Look and see what you already have. So if you find that top, let's say you find something like that when you're thrifting or going to a vintage clothing store, always think about what you already have in your closet that you could match it to. And so you already have an outfit in your head before you even, I even do the jewelry in my head and say, what could I put with that outfit? So, okay, a couple more pieces. This intrigued me because of the color. Oh, it's a coat. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm looking at it. I'm not sharing it with you. This is a coat, says made in Romania, and it's the most beautiful color. Oh, wow. I don't know. Like a light cocoa. It's the best way. Not quite caramel, but almost like a caramel color. Of course, I always use food as reference with colors, but this is a little coat. I got to tell you, this is fabulous. I did not even remember this being in here at all. But it's just like almost like a little trench without the belt, so you could wear it in the rain. It seems like that kind of fabric, and I just think it's wonderful. And it's Sears. So it's the shell is cotton and polyester, and then the lining is 100% synthetic, probably acetate. Not acetate. Yeah, no, acetate is not synthetic. It's manufactured. So it's probably nylon. I suspect it's nylon, which is fully synthetic. But look at that color. And the sleeves are kind of big. And look at the beautiful cuffs with the buttons. Oh, this coat is phenomenal. I might have to wear this. I love it. I love the color. I love everything. Okay, couple more. I keep saying that. All right, I'm having so much fun. I hope you are too. Oh, I showed a couple of these dresses last time. These double knit polyester type dresses that were big in the late 60s, early 70s. And this is sort of like a little A-line dress and just simple stripes at the collar and the down the front to the hem and to hem the sleeves. A little trim there. Light blue, very cute. And let me see, tag wise, it says, oh, Puritan Forever Young. So that's very cool. These older tags, you can tell by the font in a lot of these older tags if it's mid-century or like even 60s, 70s. You can really kind of tell by that font. And I can tell just by the style and by the fabric as well that it's late 60s, early 70s. So something a lot of fun for the summer or spring. You could wear something over it. You could even wear something under it and just kind of, shake things up and wear a blouse or something under it, belt it, um, wear it over jeans. Some people like to wear long dresses over jeans because it just looks kind of cool. Or I've seen people put skirts over dresses. So they'll have the top like this and the long dress, and then they'll put a shorter skirt over it. It's just a different look. Again, whatever floats your boat. Just make it fun and make it yours. That's the important. Fashion should be fun. It shouldn't be work. You should be able to enjoy dressing up in the morning and, try to find your own personal style. You might have to experiment a bit. I'm going to do a series on that down the line too, on how to find your personal style. Some people get stuck and they're not sure how to find out what they like and what they don't like. So we're going to get into that another time. Okay, one more piece for this video. Ooh, wow. A sweater with the tag still on, and it's 80s. 80s or early 90s. It's got the shoulder pads. Look at this sweater, folks. Ah, look at that pattern. It's fantastic. Nice big old shoulder pads. Fantastic. Sarah Morgan. There you go. Sarah Morgan is the tag. And it is Rami, very big 80s fiber that was used. So this is 80s. Rami acrylic, which is like a wool substitute, synthetic, made in Korea. So yeah, this is 80s. And this is, I will read this to you. It says Segerman International Inc. Oh, 1995. So this is a mid-90s. I thought the pattern looked mid-90s. But because of the tag and the Rami, I just thought maybe it was 80s. But hey, it looks like it's mid-90s. And the pattern almost looks like the Cosby sweaters, if you remember the Cosby show. So that makes sense. So what it says is, I'm going to read it to you. This hand-knitted sweater is one of a kind. The variations of stitches reflects the craft and style of the individual knitter from sweater to sweater. This creation has a very special and unique individual character made just for you. Like all fine hand knits, this sweater should be treated with the special care with which it was made. Very cool. Never worn. Tag still on. So I'm going to end with that one. And we'll wait till next time and find some more surprises. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and ring the little bell so you'll know when my new videos come out. And please stay safe and always remember, style never dies. Bye.